Hey there, sorry about that.
Welcome back.
The internet was fucking do fuck fuck. Yeah, I'll take that part out. Okay, so it's just a small group of us today. What are our marketing concerns right now? Because we're really in the fourth quarter. Interest rates just went down a little bit. Now's the time to grab buyers.
Well, I'll say that I noticed here recently and then verified it this morning that my Google pay per click has gone down by about 33%. Um, and so I've
In
kept
price or in volume of
Yeah,
people?
in price or in volume.
in in cost per lead.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, cost per lead has really gone down. I've noticed I keep my budget the same, and so I've just noticed that a lot more leads are rolling in, and I don't know what's happened because I it's kind of on a set it forget it type setup for myself, but maybe that's indicative of more people actually out there with greater intent that they're not only clicking but then signing up because that's what causes the conversion at least in pay per click.
Gotcha. How much are you doing, I guess for your click charge?
So it went from just shy of $30 a lead to just shy of $20 a lead.
Hmm. Oh, that's a significant
Yeah,
savings.
yeah,
Wow.
Okay. I've noticed the organic traffic on my website, um, they've been returning. So something's going on. I think more buyers are starting to look at properties on the website and returning leads that are one is like 3 years old coming back in. So
yeah,
something's going on.
right.
I think the interest rates, even though it's not like a substantial, I'm hearing like high fives, low sixes right now. Is that what y'all are hearing?
6.19 is the last one I saw. And two of my lenders said, don't tell your people to lock rates yet or refinance because they're going to go down again. So maybe we'll get
Yeah.
under six or very close to it.
So
Yeah,
I saw something earlier this week, and I actually booked a meeting with this company because I want to know more about it. And it's kind of scary, but it's not uncommon. So it's it's uh it's leasehold on residential. So you buy the house, but you lease the land underneath it. Now, I know, say for instance, in commercial, that happens all the time. Right? Happens all the time. And I also know that in a good example would be in Palm Springs, when they gave back the lands to the natives, they did checkerboard style, so every
Yeah.
other type thing. But a lot of those lands that they built condos on, people who buy those condos, they're buying the lease on the land for whatever left is on that time period. Well, this is in Texas now.
Hmm.
Uh, there's a company called Jubilee. Let me share my screen. I have a meeting with them Monday because I just want to know.
Hmm.
So Jubilee, and I don't know how to market this because I don't know why I would want my buyers to do this. But if you look, this price on this house is $2.3 million or whatever it is, and they're saying what the normal down payment is and what the Jubilee down payment is, and basically you're getting these multi-million-dollar houses for 20, $30,000 down, and you're leasing the land under it. Now, everything I look up says that lease rate can go up,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
imagine
and
so.
and I don't know if you're locking in. That's why I'm having this meeting with them. I'm not
Uh,
comfortable for one of my buyers
no.
buying a home and only leasing the land. However, if it helps my sellers sell their home quicker,
Hmm.
you know, it's a good thing for my seller. Does
Right.
anybody know anything about this? Because it seems to be all over the country that they're doing this. And I noticed it because someone asked about a property in Austin the other
Oh,
day.
interesting. I'll have to check on it to see if it's in Maryland because Maryland made it illegal to do something like this. Back in the early 1900s, especially around Baltimore, Maryland, the city, um, they had what we call rent, which is land lease.
Mm-hmm.
The steel companies wanted to attract factory workers to the steel companies and the sugar manufacturing plant. So they bought land put houses on them, lease the land under
Hmm.
for 99 years at a very nominal, like maybe $500 a year or something like that. And
Yeah.
then the person could afford to buy the house because the land wasn't included. About 10 years ago, Maryland said no longer are we going to allow that. We want as many people buying homes to redeem the ground rent. So it's paid off because it became owners were increasing the prices, foreclosing on properties because they said they were sending them notices of renewal and payment. So it became largely a big scam for those who still had it because most of those were inherited to ancestors. So I'll have to check on that and see whether they're even considering getting into Maryland, which is where my market is.
I just found it kind of scary, but I also
It-
see the opportunity for my
yeah,
sellers if it gives a buyer more an option to come in and buy a house twice what they normally could afford.
exactly.
So,
Yeah, in my area, there's a nonprofit does that called Proud Ground.
mhm,
And it's you have to have a decent credit score. There's you have to make below like 80,000 dollars a year, and it's tiered number of people in your family. But I've got a property right now that isn't moving. Well, Proud Ground just opened up $150,000 grant for this certain zone in the city. So Proud Ground will come in, here's $150,000 to help you buy the house. We own the land. It's a 99-year lease on the land. And then when you go to sell it, there is an equity share that goes back into the fund. And it must be sold to another Proud Ground recipient.
Oh,
So it's a way of getting people that, they've got good credit. They
mhm.
just have no money. They're struggling. It gets them their foot into home ownership where there'd be no way they could elsewhere.
I
So
would
there
want
is
to
some
know the, I'm sorry.
so there is some upsides to something like this, but I could see how it could be extremely predatory if it went unchecked.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I want to know who runs that fund or scheme or whatever. Because right now there's a lot of craziness going on with being sure people go bankrupt and then sweeping in and grabbing their assets and putting them into, big corporations. Which is why for the last 7 or 8 years, I've been telling people when you get a postcard in the mail that says, we'll buy your house, no repairs.
hmm.
And all these private equity companies are buying up these houses and making them rentals. We're basically cutting off the first time home buyers and those who could, get into the property ladder from being future wealth owners. So I don't know about this situation. I'd love to find out more.
Yeah.
I'll bring it back.
Yeah.
I have a meeting with them at 9 a.m. on Monday. So,
Oh,
and
okay.
if it's a tool I could use to help my sellers, I'm doing best for them. I don't think I'd ever recommend it to one of my buyers. So,
Yeah, I just clicked on a property and it looks like the benefit is the money getting into it. It's a low down payment.
yeah,
But the monthly payment is actually maybe a little bit higher. On
really.
the example that I clicked on, I just happened to hit like a $1.5 million property. And it says to show the full breakdown. And the Jubilee monthly payment is 10,600.
Hmm.
Without Jubilee, it would be 9,500. So there's $1,000 spread on what your monthly payment is, but as they call out, their big selling point is it's a $30,000 down payment versus a $268,000 down payment. So that looks to be the benefit.
Okay.
Still got to make those payments, right?
Yeah, and how long?
So if
Is
it's
that
more of a payment, is it really a benefit? It's lower down payment getting in.
Right.
Right. And then I
Mhm.
guess Leslie, if I was meeting with them, I would just ask about the exit strategy.
yeah?
Yeah.
What does a person run into when they're trying to get out of it? And this is totally different, I know, but it reminds me of all of the solar panels
Yes,
You know,
yes.
and I think every solar panel salesperson, I haven't run into it personally, but I see a lot of it on social media, that every social or every salesperson told people how much their property was going to go up in value. And it just seems like it's created more headaches than what it's probably worth in the selling of. And of course, there's differences, right? If you lease them versus if you own them and those sort of things. So I would just ask them, what's the exit look like?
Will do.
Interesting.
Well, and let's take this further. What title implications? What inheritance implications?
Mm-hmm.
What if somebody deceases and leaves this property, are there any caveats that let the landowner owner take it back? Don't know.
The example I
We-
would give is like if you have if so on a commercial property, if they own if they're leasing that land underneath the structure, when they die, that's something that's still an asset. The lease is still an asset.
The leasehold, yeah.
Yeah, so the lease is still an asset. The issue becomes like how often can they increase the lease rate on it? So for instance, I know in Mexico, um, you know, they don't like foreigners to own beachfront property. So you can only buy a 99-year lease.
Yeah.
And you own the home, but you don't own the ground underneath it because they don't want you to have beachfront property in your name. So, but they can pass that on. People can inherit the rest of that lease, and they can actually sell that lease. And actually, there's been a friend of mine in Mexico was telling me that yeah, sometimes the value of that lease land goes way up, and you can make a profit off of it by selling that lease.
Mm.
So, and again, it's not uncommon in commercial. And I know, Becky, I know again in for the example I gave in Palm Springs is that there are lots of condo buildings that people in Palm Springs where people are buying the condos and the land is actually leased from the natives. So, I
Mm.
don't. Again, not something I think I want to recommend for one of my buyers, but maybe my
Yeah.
sellers.
Maybe a
Interesting.
good lure to get a buyer to your property and then let them go down that slippery slope and then go, okay, I'll go ahead and pay the $268,000 down payment and skip all this, but you got eyes on your property, right?
Well, I mean, and as a marketing tool, if you're trying to work with more sellers, get more listings, hey, here's a way we can attract more buyers. You know,
Right.
not every, because even people who make a decent living, who can afford the payment of a $1.5 million home, they may not have 250 grand just sitting in the bank to make the down payment. So, because not everybody manages their money that great. So that's my thing. Anyway, I thought if anybody heard of that before.
No, but very interesting to find out some more information.
Yeah.
So what marketing do we have for fourth quarter? And what are we looking at for first quarter?
Regarding what? What we're doing for,
In-person marketing,
oh, gotcha.
something unique
Okay.
we're doing, something, because if you're my coaching client, we always go through this every week. What is it that we're seeing? We're in the best 4 months of the year for marketing. I say this every year. September, October, November, December, there's parties, there's holidays, there's festive, happy people. But a lot of real estate agents from Thanksgiving through Christmas go to sleep and they wake up January 1st and go, where's my paycheck? I haven't worked in the last 6 weeks. Shit. January, February are the worst 2 months to advertise because, or to be among people. There's no parties.
Yeah.
There's nothing. People are, cuddled up in their house and they're not getting out and doing anything. So as Tom says, we load our cannon for the new year in these last 4 months. What are we packing in for these 4 months to benefit ourselves in active lead sources?
I know we've already got our programs set up for that, but I have noticed that when I'm contacting people and trying to set up face-to-face get-togethers, most of them are all saying, great, let's set something up in November, which I was surprised about because the holiday season sort of starts, you know. So my November and December, that's when people want to sit down and meet and just catch up. Or in some cases, look at their house. So I haven't even looked at what I'm going to do in January, February, though. I've got to work on that.
So a marketing thing that I'm currently working on. Sorry, my webcam is in the other room and my husband's sleeping. I don't want to wake him up. He didn't sleep last night, so you don't get to see my bright shining face. So one thing that I'm working on currently for marketing is I received a text and from an agent in Las Vegas soliciting referrals. And so I kind of took that text, re-engineered it, and I'm doing this for my brokerage. Um, it's got a high referral fee, but if I've got a new agent coming in that has nothing, it would be really good. I did market research, found out where everyone is moving into Portland, Vancouver area, Washington, Southwest Washington. Found the cities where people are coming from, Las Vegas or Los Angeles, San Diego, Seattle, etc. I worked with my lender. I found I was able to do some searches of top performing sellers in that area, got their numbers, did a MailChimp, and pretty much sent out a, hey, I would love, I'll pay 40% for your referral. And then I could pass that on with an additional 10% to cover the cost to any agents in my office. So that way there is some sort of revenue coming in. They don't have to take it. Hell, I'll take it. I don't care. But to kind of cover when things are lean, they could be picking up these leads. So we just sent out our first volley of cities last week. Got our couple more counties going out. The rest of the LA basin going out this week, and hopefully next week I'll have another 4 counties that I'll be hitting as well. So that's one thing that I'm working on.
Hmm.
Way to make the rest of us feel bad. Wow.
So you've
Well, I
created
have
it.
an amazing coach, so that encourages me. So
Yes, there you go.
So it sounds like you've created an email drip campaign for performing agents in other cities.
Text actually, and
Text.
then text and so I'll alternate. So 1 month text campaign through MailChimp, and then the following month they'll get an email. So that way I'm not blasting them all the time via text, but I'm first and foremost. So alternating back and forth, and it's pretty inexpensive. So
Do you want to explain to him why he shouldn't text Texas agents?
Okay, so Texas just passed a law, and Matt, you probably know about this, that unless they opt in, we cannot text them. Okay, if
Gotcha.
they come to our website and opt in, we can, but we cannot send out mass texting. We can be fined heavily.
Really?
Yes, it's pretty anti-business and but it's trying to cut down on the spam, but they went
Yeah.
way overboard. Way
Sounds
overboard. They
like it.
want, if you're going to text people, you have to give a $10,000 surety bond to the state to hold $10,000 to be sure that you're not going to break the rules. And I'm
Oh
like,
my.
I'm not giving those people money.
Holy crap. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why I use MailChimp so that way they can opt out.
but
And some do. And I'm like, thank you for opting out.
A caveat
One,
to it.
I don't want to spend the money texting someone that doesn't want it. And two, I don't want to be harassed. I don't want to harass anyone. But I
Yeah.
got quite a bit of messages back saying, "Wow, thank you. I've added you to my database.
Mhm.
Hearting it, liking it. Hey, I'm in this area, so think of me for your referrals as well." So the over, I got a lot of positive feedback from the first
Hmm.
volley of texts that I sent out.
yeah, the ability to opt out is one thing, but having them opt in originally was the new requirement.
Okay.
And
So from the Texas standpoint, you can't even text leads unless they,
opt in.
somebody that you've met at an open house, unless they opt in, and you have to have,
Well,
I
meeting
guess.
at an open house, that they gave you your phone number, yes. If you go research what their phone number is, no.
Okay.
And
So,
the caveat that I want to point out is that it doesn't matter if you're in Texas. If you're texting someone in Texas, they can file claims against you.
wow.
Right.
So when you get those leads that come onto your website, that haven't opted into texting, because in some states it's different. Maybe you don't have to have an opt-in. You can just start texting people. But anyone you have in your database that is in Texas, if they have not opted in, they can file a claim against you. Not only that, every text you send has to have an opt-out option. Everyone else. So if you can text the same person 1,000 times, all 1,000 of those texts have to have an opt-out.
Oh, wow.
And your service provider, who's ever, like, let's say you sign up with MailChimp or any other service that does texting for you, do they know that? Like, we even had to go to Real Geeks and like, hey, this is a new law, and Real Geeks is in Texas, and we're like, they were like, struggling to figure things out. We still haven't got like a clear answer from them on everything.
Actually, they did come back and say they're not going to change their program
Okay.
because of the opt-in situation. And I called TAR, Texas Association of Realtors Legal Hotline. They have both given us the same response as if in their system, and most systems have most of the,
Yeah.
if you sign up here, you're opting in.
Yes.
So there's a terms of service on all of our RG websites, and I think I got to go check Pro Agent and be sure. By the way, I came up with a new Pro Agent scheme, which is cool. But they have to opt in. So that's okay. But again, Leslie's point is true. When we send out a drip system that's text-based, we have to put an opt-out at the end of each one. We were putting the opt-out on the first one. We've now
Yeah.
got to go retrofit all those texts,
Oh my goodness.
which, we're going to get a lot of stop, and that's fine. That's what this
Right.
law is designed to do. It's not perfect, but it's what because I ain't paying somebody $10,000.
No, there's no reason for you to have that money out of your care.
No.
That's crazy.
No.
Wow.
Hey,
And
I
Kathy, hey,
I
Tyler.
imagine that we'll probably see a lot more of that happening because it's out of control. How many texts? I mean, I know
I have
unsolicited.
my voicemail says I don't answer my phone. Every call I get is spam. If this is real, leave me a message or text me.
Yeah.
Because every one of those, you pick up the phone, it's got this little, and it's this fake hello.
Yes.
Hello. We're here with this, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's just insidious. It's
I pay the
insidious.
$4.99 a month with T-Mobile to block all those spam calls. They don't ring, and if they're texting, there's an entire archive of just spam. I never even see the text. Although I still get a good 50, 60 texts a day that have nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to take advantage of this law. Hold on. How do I how much can I get? Because I don't see a lot of opt-outs on
There you go.
them.
Yes. If you can find them, a lot of them aren't real people. They're
Yeah.
just fake. So, and they'll
Is
figure out a way to get around it.
anybody seeing any movement in their social media in regards to the AI work we're doing? Anybody seeing an uptick? I'm seeing from our side that a lot of referrals come to our site now from ChatGPT.
Hmm.
Referrals for this year are up really, significantly from ChatGPT. I haven't
Interesting. I'll have
noticed
to
Claude
go.
or Gemini yet, but I'm just getting into those two.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Anybody?
No. Not yet, but we're still working on mine, Bob.
Yeah.
So-
Not to put anything on you there, but yeah.
Although ever since I created that Yelp account, they've been calling me once a week trying to get me to buy ads.
Yes. And don't. Yeah,
No,
not good.
no. No, I always tell, whenever new agents ask for advice, I'm like, there are advice, there are a lot of people that want to steal your commission out there.
Yes.
Don't let them.
Yes. Yeah.
Kimberly, you said very quickly, don't tell me why.
Because they don't really perform. One of my unreal related clients spent quite a bit of money on there, and they weren't getting any actual leads. There was no difference. But as soon as they stopped their program with Yelp, Yelp completely blocked them from getting anything. Prior to that, they were, and then they opted in at I mean, something that was not sustainable for the client. And then when they stopped it because they couldn't afford it and they weren't getting any leads, they had the pay to play. You're not paying us anymore, so we closed it down for you. It was very frustrating for her because she, as a cupcake cookie delivery company, she was depending upon people like leaving pictures and reviews. So she went completely with Google, and Yelp just languished there. So,
But the great thing about Google is that you can use that, and not only can people go to your Google My Business and leave reviews and pictures and things like that, your profile can go out to other businesses and do the same thing
right.
and drive business back to you.
Yeah.
So and more businesses need to take advantage of that. So, it'd be a part of their community instead of, spending those ad dollars over and over again. Like every time they go to a restaurant, they can take a picture and they can upload it, and their business name will be right there on that picture.
Right.
So,
Yeah. And Yelp is now pulling in all those Google reviews. So I'm not sure how that works as far as those people who are organically getting leads. We've been on Yelp since, I don't know, 20 some years, but I used to see, people would go on there and just kind of look at some information, but I don't get anything from it. Mm.
way back in the day when I was on Yelp, I would actually get traffic through the search engine when people were searching it for specific areas.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen that in years. But I also haven't updated my Yelp in years either, I'm sure.
My experience had been that if we got a positive review, and I think at one point maybe I did run some ads on there, I don't remember. But if you got a negative review, even from like some stranger you've never heard of in Des Moines,
Yeah.
they wouldn't take it down. But boy, if you buy some ads,
Yes.
you'll beat that traffic out for that negative review if you buy some ads. And I'm like, that seems like extortion.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much what it looked like. Yeah.
Right. When
And they
Angie's
do
list
hide
first-
your positive reviews, do get hidden. I actually had one client get really upset and send a message to Yelp that she was one of those Yelp elites and left a review for me, and it never showed up. And she complained, and Yelp said, "We have no control over that. It's just the algorithm. They thought you were fake." And she goes, "I'm a Yelp elite," which means that she
Yeah.
reviews everything. And they wouldn't pull it out because it was a 5 star, but it was hidden. So I think that's one of the things they try to get you to pay to play.
Oh yeah. My co-agent when she first got her license, she'd only had her license 6 months, and she hadn't even had a deal yet. And someone left a 1 star scathing review about her. And
Oh,
she's like, I don't even know who
honey.
this is. And Yelp was like, too bad, too sad. They wouldn't touch it. She's like, I've never talked to this person. I haven't even closed a deal yet. This is not fair. Too bad, too sad. It stays.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that's what kept me from creating a Yelp account until Bob had me set one up, was her experience
Well,
because
Yeah.
of that.
years ago, the scam is that someone would come and leave a bad review for you, and then another company would reach out to you to help you get it removed.
Oh, snap.
And there was a hefty fee to get that done.
Of
Yeah.
And
course there
the bigger
was.
the company you were, the more the more they were going to charge you.
Extortion.
Yeah, basically.
Mm.
Angie's List. The first time I ran into Angie's List was at a home and garden show, and somebody there was Angie's List, and there was Angie's List reviews and revenge was literally in their marketing to get revenge on Alyssa or get a revenge on Kathy because you think they're horrible. And I was like, they changed it later, but I wish I had a snap of it. I very clearly remember reviews and revenge. And I'm like, that's fucking, I mean, we're all small business people. We're
Right.
all trying really hard. Now, yes, are there nefarious people out there? Yes. But we're
Yes.
trying really hard. Who the hell do you think you are doing reviews and revenge? Plus, if you're hosting something that's patently untrue, well,
Yeah.
used to be we could sue you for that. Nowadays, I guess they just call that, fair play. But if it's something patently untrue and we don't know this person, you can't host it on your site. So yeah, the whole Yelp, Angie's List sort of stuff. Now Yelp is important because it's being quoted in the AI snippets.
Mm,
You know,
got it.
I'm looking at the AI snippets and where to put my profile because Realtor, Zillow, maybe Trulia, and from Jason Pantano, we have that list of places we should list. I'm looking at Zoopla. I'm looking at Rightmove. I'm looking at I want to find the Zillow in every foreign country. Sign up there as a real estate professional and have a profile there. Because there are basically realtor.coms around the world. And we can apply to have a business profile there. If they charge me 20 bucks or 30 bucks or whatever for the year, I'll never have a listing there. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll put a listing on Rightmove. But how would that help our ranking if we're listed around the world and we have these rankings from all sorts of other sites?
Mm.
If you're, a realtor in California and you're ranked around in Spain and Portugal and everywhere else, wow, what would that do for you,
Well,
Kyle?
many MLSs will let you do a co-op with list properties in other countries. So, like the Houston Association of Realtors, I can list properties anywhere in the world. Either I've listed it as an agent in that country, or I have an agent in that country. It can be with any brokerage, and some countries don't even require a license. So,
Yeah,
but they've listed property, they can co-op with me to put it in the MLS in the United States. So it looks like I'm more of an international agent.
Hmm. Interesting. So Texas allow you to do that even though you're not the
As long as
property's outside of Texas?
So so it's a co-op listing as long as it's like I can't well actually I can list any property in the United States if they want to put it into the MLS in Texas. I can put the listing in. Let me clarify. I can't be the listing agent. I can
Okay.
co-op with it. I can
Yeah.
co-op with it. So I can do that because I can do that
Okay.
anywhere in the world. Find an agent in that country, a top listing agent in that country, say, hey, I can market your properties in the United States.
Gotcha. And that sounds like something, Robert, you might want to consider with what you
Yeah.
were talking about, reaching out to agents for those referrals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll be the listing agent in the US for them as a co-op.
Well, listen, we have a lot of people moving abroad these days, and why
Yes.
not? Why not? And Bob and I have talked to a number of agents around the world already. And why not co-op with those agents? Say, hey, we can mark. We know people who are moving to your country. We can market those properties here, and whether or not we sell them, we can get a referral. Like,
Right.
Right.
and maybe they don't. Maybe they decide they don't want to go to Portugal. They want to go to Mexico. We know agents. Like, why not take on that market, and make as many referrals that way. Not only that, a lot of these, if you want to team up with a lot of these services that help people move abroad, they probably need real estate agents to sell the properties in the United States.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I'm literally updating my to-do list with a couple things we're talking about.
same, same.
And yes, I have a to-do list like I bug everybody else to have a to-do list. Of course, it's a spreadsheet.
Oh, interesting. Mm. Mm.
Okay.
So what other ways are people trying to market themselves this time of year?
Most of my stuff is actually reconnecting with old leads. People who kind of dropped off the radar, just kind of trying to add in a couple times a day, just reaching out to different people. And that's one of the reasons I got really kind of busy this past month, because people started calling me back. So setting up meetings just to kind of see how they're doing and if they need any information, but not putting it in a real estate centric so that they avoid me whenever they see me
Right.
calling. So
The opportunity I like to look for in Texas is, was there a disaster? Was there a tornado? Did we have a flood? Perfect reason for me to reach out to every one of my clients.
yeah, that makes sense.
Perfect reason. And you'll be surprised at how often they will put on Facebook, my agent really cares about me. Da 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 da.
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
And it didn't
And
cost me
and
anything
and
but
this
time.
is one of those things where people do forget that you're in real estate. It's the
Hmm.
shiny object in front of them. And if you're not, touching base on something, they're going to happen to see someone else. And there are still a lot of realtors out there. Not everyone's gotten out of the business. So most people know 5, 6 different real estate agents.
Right.
And when they have that event that they need one, the closest one and the most recently talked to is probably the one that's going to get the deal. So it is good to kind of reach out. And I'm trying to get better about that.
Well, you should really kind of treat them like almost like the leads that come into your system.
Yeah,
If you don't reach out to them, they're not going to know who you are
yeah,
when they're ready. So that's why you have to be in front of them all the time. That's why I always tell people I will call, text, and well, I can't text a whole lot anymore. And now the new text law, but but I will call, text, and email someone until they tell me they will hunt me down and cut me if I don't stop. Like they're already not working with me. I don't care. And the truth is, most people don't even answer their phone, but they can see my
yes,
name
yeah.
over and over and over again. And they need to see it. What is, I think they said 8 times a year. They need
Actually, it's gone up to 14.
14.
Yeah,
Well, between the emails and things like that, I do that. Well, the other thing I kind of do is when they sign up on a website, everybody gets that generic new listings.
yeah,
Oh no, I change it to their first name
yeah.
and as if it's their new listings, and then at the end, I remind them who I am, because that's what shows up in their subject line.
Mhm.
And if they've signed up on 10 websites, which one are they on? Why do they know my name?
There you
Who are
go.
these people? So it
There
doesn't
you
look
go.
so generic. And by the way, Google will label those as if most people are using Gmail, Google might suggest send that spam because it is a generic subject line that go out from tons of agents.
Yeah, yeah,
So if you're not changing that, Google may just mark it as spam for them.
yeah. True. Yeah,
So renaming those saved searches, that coming from your CRM is will actually help you stand out. And well, Google won't look at it as just a bunch of spam because let's be honest, if you have 1,000 people with a saved search and all of them says saved search in the subject line, what is Google
Mhm.
going to say? You're sending out 1,000 emails to 1,000 different people with the same subject line, and it doesn't make sense. And sometimes those go out every day. So
And
change.
open your own email.
Mhm. Yeah.
If you get your own email, like Texas Pride Realty sends out an email to everybody, open your own email. At least because Gmail will share back and forth between all the users, whether or not, 10% open this email or 20% or 0%. Open your email and add to the algorithm.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to read it, but just leave it open for a few minutes, look at it, close it back down. But if
Mhm.
you just get your own email and by the way, I get emails from each of you, I go ahead and open them usually. I go ahead and just open it for a second, give you a little bit of love and sunshine, and then close it on and go about my day. But why not do that for yourself? Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
tip.
I'm full of good bullshit. So this is great.
So create a bunch of fake emails, send them all to yourself, open them all, leave it open.
They need to
I
come
mean, in
from your
theory, it would work,
CRM.
right?
They need to come. The emails need to come from your CRM.
Might as well click on them as well.
What'd you
Oh,
do this week? I clicked on all my emails. Really? Okay, great.
Let me add that to my time blocking. Open my own emails.
there you go.
It's just a little something you can find. I did teach somebody this today who's in a bad situation with a brokerage. Everybody hold your hands up like this. If you're in a bad situation with your brokerage, right? Hold your hand up like this. Come on. Full participation, Kathy.
Okay.
Now, this is what you do. Go out and find and see, she did the same thing because she had been near tears, and then she finally, when I did this, she just broke open. She's in a situation, she's going to figure it out. But I'm like, go where you're worthy, go where people see your worth. And until then, you just keep checking your nails. How are your nails doing today? Oh, they look so pretty. Yeah. Yeah. So that was my thing of the day is, just remember the hand motion that we taught you. When people are not wanting to pay you for your commission, when people are not going to value your time and show up when they say, when people are going to try to get you to, do something outside your boundaries. I don't want to sign a buyer's agency, or just come over and tell me what to list for. No. Check your nails, see how you're doing today. Yeah. You know, Alyssa's like, I would never do that. Yes, yeah, come on. You would. So, I mean, she does it to me almost every coaching call, but that's different. Okay. Anybody else have any questions about marketing trends, things going on? I should assume that everybody's marketing is on point. You have your meeting set up, your social events for the next 4 months, including September. And yeah, I heard you. I hear you. I'm looking at one of you specifically. And, I should just assume that everything's perfect.
Could be improved, obviously.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the good thing. You made us go through and
Yeah.
quarter by quarter. So it's always on the radar. We know what we have to
Yeah.
get done. I was just thinking about the Christmas cards because last year I got, squished as far as time because I literally put custom notes in every single Christmas card. So I was like, I need to get those ordered now. So
And
they can drop.
do you send out to your database, hey, can you update your address? And then find out that some of those people have moved and haven't told you?
That's
They
one
want
of the reasons.
You want a Christmas card from me? Send me update your address. By the way, I still get an update your address email from Bob. You remember Katie?
Yeah.
Blogger Katie. I get an email from her every year for an updated address. And she started this in the 90s when she was one of those big bloggers before people were blogging. I get it every year that she makes that request. And she doesn't sell real estate. She literally just wants an updated
She'd
address.
be amazing at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. I've got a big meeting at the top of the hour. So if everybody's good, we're going to go ahead and say, have a great weekend.
Okay.
Go out and sell some shit. Go out and make a lot of money. Remember to check your nails throughout the day for people who don't make us happy. Yeah. And see, Kyler's already a master at that. And I will see you all next week.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Take care.